You're on the air with Florenza, your podcast destination for authentic conversations with a twist. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and join me on this unique literary journey. Cheers! I am so excited. If you've been following me, and I hope that you have, you will know that this is my inaugural session on my new platform, Authors on the Air. And I wish you could see my face because I am just grinning from ear to ear. In what better way to kick off my new gig than with my good friend, I call her my vanilla child. I didn't give birth to her, but you know what? Not physically, but spiritually I did. So she is just as close to me as my two girls that grew in my womb. And I am talking about none other than the infamous Jackie Kenner. She is a psychic medium, mentor, author, and host of the Connections with Jackie podcast. And so I do want to read just a small blurb about her. She's going to come on and get into the nitty gritty of things, but Jackie Kenner is a psychic medium, mentor, author, and host of the Connections with Jackie podcast. She helps people like you, better yet, like us, connect with the spirit world and create and launch thriving spiritual businesses. She may be reached at Jackie Kenner, and Jackie is JackieKenner.com. And so, boys and girls, put your hands together for my vanilla child.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. I am so excited. And my goal is that we're going to do this in one take, and it's going to be sheer perfection. So tell us, before we even get going into like all of what I have lined up for us, just give us the nitty gritty on who Jackie is.
I think your intro was pretty straightforward. It's exactly what I do. I operate as a psychic medium. I host sessions for people looking to connect with loved ones who have passed. I'm a mentor for people like me who know they have abilities and they want to dial in on them or just integrate them into their own lives to make them better. And 2 years ago, I became an author of multiple books, which I know we're going to get into. And I have some digital courses for people who are go-getters and do stuff on their own, and they can learn through these modules online. And I became a mom recently, and I love talking about that. So, yeah.
Yes, which made me officially a pseudo-grandma.
That's right.
I'm so excited about that. So we are going to get into your path to authorship, and it's such a phenomenal story. And I am so impressed with the way that you completely altered the publishing world with just one decision. And so what I want to do is, for those who have read my tagline, is authentic conversations with a twist. And if you know me, I am a lover of liquid refreshments, albeit water, tea, juice, or more so the adult beverage type. So I am going to raise my glass to Miss Jackie's, and we're going to toast to a great session. Now, it looks like she's probably drinking some great warm beverage, coffee or tea. Not coffee, probably a tea.
It is coffee.
It's real coffee. So what's your flavor?
Okay, I got to tell you everything in there. Vanilla coffee with MCT oil, collagen, cinnamon, and a little bit of ghee. And I blend them all up and add some oat milk. So I've got a lot going on in this mug.
There's a lot going on. That is not a simple cup of black coffee. Nice. Now, do you have a place on your website where you do all of your coffee recipes or things like that?
I occasionally will post on it on my Instagram to just remind people why I'm doing all of those things. There's a reason. It's like brain food and body fuel, and it also helps your body sustain that caffeine hit longer when you add a fatty acid like coconut oil or MCTs or something. So there's a reason behind all of it.
See, and I feel so crazy because, well, the only thing that's in mine is a mango, pineapple, strawberry, peach margarita.
Oh, that's it? Just super simple. It looks
I'm
delicious.
keeping it simple today. So, before we get started, I would like, and I have my little list here, I would like to, well, first, let me say this. I went to your website, and your web designer is phenomenal. Everything about your website was just stellar. Like from beginning to end, I felt like I was on this wonderful little journey. So tell us, how did you come up with the title, and what does the title resonate? How does the title resonate with you?
The title of my website?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, because I did all of that through lots of research, and it's something I help other people with unusual offerings do. Connections with Jackie it was the really kind of how I described what I was doing, because a lot of people are uncomfortable with the concept of a psychic or a psychic medium, or even categorizing me into that sort of witchcraft, black magic, occult stuff. And so I just started calling it connection sessions of like, let's go in, let's set the highest intention to connect to the most loving, pure connection out there. And let's talk about what comes up for you. And so instead of labeling it in something that had stigma that's been out there and been used and Hollywoodized, as I say sometimes, I just wanted it to be really simple and kind of enveloped in this concept of purity, love, highest and best. So I just called them connection sessions. And from that, because I was doing them before I had a website, and from that came Connections with Jackie.
I love that. And, it does have that very wholesome, pure, it has a very good feeling when you log on. You just feel like a breath of fresh air. And so kudos to you for doing that, because it absolutely is reflective in the website. And guys, if you haven't yet had a chance to log on, just log on and see. And I love the fact that you have those reviews there as well from individuals that have worked with you. It's so good to have that word of mouth where people are able to kind of hear what others are saying. And having had an opportunity myself to work with you and to see you in action, it's just such a good thing. And I am so proud that you're helping others to tap into that energy and that essence, and look for ways to, just like your coffee, it's not just one aspect of it, but to look into all aspects of us, because we are souls living in a body, having an emotional or soulish experience while we are here on this earth. And so we are spirit, soul, and body. And oftentimes we get trapped into only one aspect of that, or two aspects of that, our physical being and our mental, emotional being. And we don't yet tap into fully that spiritual being of who we are. And we're spirit first. And ironically, it's going to be spirit last. And so what better way to live out your existence here in this earthly realm than by understanding that?
I know people can't see me, but I'm sitting here with a giant grin, nodding my head, because that is truth.
Yes, yes. Now, one of the things that we were talking about before we came on the air was your publishing experience. And so tell us how you came into being in a position to where your newest book is going to launch next month. So tell us about your journey towards authorship and a little bit about your book that's coming out.
Okay. Well, I have to say there's, women in general will visualize things in their life, their wedding, their marriage, their kids, whatever. The only thing I ever saw with clarity in my entire life, I didn't think about my wedding or any, I didn't have big visions or dreams. I knew I was going to be an author. So for me, I've always been very magnetized to that path in life. And I told my husband when I met him, I don't know what's going to happen for us. I don't have big plans or dreams, but I know I'm going to put a book out. So the first time the opportunity fell across my lap, it was to help somebody get their book out. So what this person had done was made audio recordings of their experience, and it was hours and hours and hours long. And I had this writing degree and I'd gone to grad school for communications. And I thought, this is a great experience for me. This is a great way to learn how to do this. And so I took it on. So my first book that ever came out, I ghost wrote. Now, there are lots of ways that you can format this relationship as a ghostwriter. I put my terms on the table and said, I think we self-publish, and I did tons of research as to why. And I want royalties for life. Meaning I want a percentage of sales on this book for life.
Wait. So for those who aren't familiar, ghostwriting is normally when you have the gift for writing and you produce the actual story in written form and your name appears nowhere on it. People would be surprised to learn what famous books were ghostwritten. Like if ever you want to do a little deep dive, it's probably gonna destroy your childhood memories, because a lot of the books that I grew up idolizing authors for, I realized that they themselves did not even create the books, that they were actual ghostwritten. So you took something that had already been established, had already been set in stone. Ghostwriters get paid. They are never spoken of again. Hint, hint, the word ghost. Mm-hmm. And you did what?
I set my terms.
For royalties for life.
Yes. I said, well, not only that, I collected a fee up front for my time. And in addition to that, I took royalties for life.
Wow. And then that opened the door for the next part of your journey, which was to co-write.
Yes. So the next book that came out, I was a co-author. And so I'll give you a short summary of this one. It's someone who remembered lifetime between Earth lives. So they remembered what was going on with their soul. And I know that in order to swallow this book, you have to have some fundamental openness to reincarnation. So it's a big pill to swallow for some people. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But this person remembered what was going on for their soul before their life and between their lives.
Okay.
And it was very similar to what I experience as a medium, talking to souls who have passed, mm-hmm. as well as some of my own deep, we'll call them transcendental states that I go into, which we can all do if you're open to it, and gather information from the highest version of ourselves, which to me is God and the universe. And so we were stacking chapters against each other throughout this book, where he's talking about his experience, and then I'm saying, this is my experience. We put them together and co-authored this book. I think what's important to call out for authors, especially if you're unpublished, is I was cutting my teeth in these mm-hmm. books. I was learning how to format. I was learning how to self-publish. I was learning how to submit and set up my account on Amazon and structure contracts where I was protected for payment. And always in the back of my mind was, you're going to author your own book. You're going to author your own book. And so for me, these were really great practice runs at getting my own book out there while also making money.
Right. Absolutely. And for those who know, one of the areas of coaching that I do is to coach authors into successfully starting their own publishing business, their own publishing journey, and understanding that by knowing the ins and outs of publishing, that it is so achievable. And, I respect people that do queries and that, submit and that wait for the traditional publishing deals. I mean, I have to respect that hustle. And it's a process. I met someone that had waited 25 years for someone to affirm her book. And, that's, to me, that's more faith than learning the business and saying, I'm going to step out here and, self-publish this book. But it's exactly what I've done 30 times. And mm-hmm. Now to hear that you have done that. So tell us about your book that's coming out next month and why you felt the need to write it.
I just want to add one more thing to what you said. I don't think there's a right or wrong. Do you go with a publisher? Do you self-publish?
Absolutely.
There's only a right or wrong for me. What's going to work for me? What's the timeline for me? What's the profit share for me? And each and every person has to assess that for themselves. So for me, it made sense to self-publish, which I will do in this book coming out next month, which is all about my experience as a medium and the most beautiful lessons that I have received from the other side. Really, I'm borrowing them from other people. So I'll have a client, will connect with someone who's passed, and they share these insights and these perspectives of life that have absolutely fundamentally changed who I am and how I live on earth. And so I'm putting some of my favorite ones into this book, as well as sharing like, what's the process like going from being, I was very academic, corporate minded. I had no belief in the afterlife. I was raised with a pretty strict religious upbringing that I followed without question. And by the way, whatever you believe in, that's you. Same thing. What works
Absolutely.
for you? So I'm not going there, but it was like opening myself up to the fact that something was going on that was accurate. And so I kind of break this all down in the book. Like, what was this like for me? And what were some of the signs? And what did I do that helped? And I'm putting it all into this book, Parked by the Exit.
I love that title. So tell me a little bit about how you came up with the title, Parked by the Exit.
That's so funny. I love that you asked me that. I park by the exit always. So if I go to Sam's, I will find the furthest cart, where you park your cart.
Yes.
And I'll put my car one spot away from it, so nobody's going to roll their cart into my car. Because my theory is I can get to my car at whatever speed I want, and I am close to the exit to get out.
Nice.
But if I park by the entrance, first of all, I lollygag around trying to find a spot. It takes forever. I can just walk. And who knows how many cars I'm going to be behind to get out. I do this everywhere. Concerts, grocery store, my son's school, doesn't matter. I always park by the exit. And so one day I was walking in my car and I talk to Spirit all day long. And Spirit's like, I mean, you're kind of parked by the exit in work too. And I was like, I totally am. I'm over here talking to these spirits. And it just hit me. I was like, this is what I want to call my book, Living Your Life Parked by the Exit.
Nice.
That was it. It just came to me like that.
I love it. And it makes so much sense, because even in life, we're technically parked by the exit at all phases. We're right there at that exit.
We don't know how close we are, but we're there, all of us.
We're right by the exit. I love it. Now, before we get into my end point of doing my rapid fires and truth or dare, I don't know yet which one we're going to do. Tell the audience where they're able to follow you and to connect with you.
So you can find me on Instagram. It's the only social media I'm on right now. It's Connections with Jackie. There's dots between each word. Come through my website. That's the best way. I DM on Instagram with people all the time who have questions. That's where I'll field things and answer things. And then, you can check out all of my offerings of ways to work together on my website.
Wonderful. So I am going to end with some rapid fire options. Are you ready?
I don't know, but let's do it. Because I know you. I'm not sure, but let's go.
No, they're clean. This is
okay.
This is like a super clean.
I am ready.
I know, right? Okay, so, and I'm looking at my list. Oh man, I already know a lot of these answers, but our listening audience will not. So let me just go with the first ones. Okay. And you have to give me your fastest answer without really thinking. Okay. Work or play?
Work.
Or play. Okay. Love or relationship? Wait, love or friendship?
Love.
Money or happiness?
That changes every year. This year it's money.
Okay. Cats or dogs?
Yes.
Both. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Morning or evening?
Morning.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us and for allowing the audience to get just a little bird's eye view into everything that you're doing. I would love to have you back on with us once your book is published so that we can get into the nitty gritties of it, of Park by the Exit, and just pull out some ins and outs as to ways that we can grow spiritually in our walk. And one of the things that we didn't talk about in depth was the fact that you do offer one-on-one sessions, and you also have workshops that the listening audience may come to you for. I know that one is a 6-week program that you offer, and one is a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I suggest highly for anyone that is seeking to tap into the spiritual aspects of who they are, to touch base with you for the workshops. Read the reviews that are on the website. They're going to show exactly how connecting with Jackie will help you grow. And it's not just from a spiritual aspect, because it's going to affect all areas of your life. You're just going to look around. And I think the only question you're going to have for yourself is, why didn't I do that sooner? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me with Florenza, or on the air with Florenza with Words to Ponder Publishing. You may reach me on all social media platforms under Florenza Lee or Florenza Denise Lee. You may also check out my website at florenza.org. I also write under the pen name of Aiken Ponder. That's where all my spicy things exist. And you may check out Aiken Ponder at aikenponder.com. Until my next chat, take care.